What is up, guys? This is Alan. Today is going to be aerobic day of continuous rounds of pull-ups, push-ups and squats. Continuous rounds for about 40 minutes. The whole goal of this workout is not to develop muscle mass, not to get close to failure, not to be high intensity, but actually getting farther away from that. Going to the other side of low intensity, high volume, just perfect technique and peak intention workout. The main goal of this training is to develop good habits of performance in terms of technique, energy utilization, breathing, aerobic endurance, and basically feed the other side of the endurance, which is the aerobic capacity. The aerobic system is the only system that actually helps you to recover between high intensity sets. So sometimes there is no point of doing high intensity efforts, but rather low intensity efforts for a prolonged amount of time. What it does is it helps your body to understand that it gets exposed to the movement so much, but each time you get exposed to the exercise, you don't compromise technique for quantity. So they always say quality over quantity. This is the exact workout that you should do for that. So let me show you what I got. I got the squat rack. For squats, you don't have to do them weighted. I just prefer doing it with 20 kg because it's a little bit more similar to endurance routines, endurance rounds, competitions. So I just use that, but you don't have to. You can do it body weight as well. I got some push-up bars for push-ups. We've got the pull-up for pull-ups, and we have a timer with a phone here. Oh, one more thing. I got this special thing. That's a chest strap to measure my heart rate. You don't really have to use it. I'm using it to really follow my heart rate and see that it doesn't go above what I want. So I'm gonna keep it zone 2 throughout the whole workout, which is around 140, 145 heart rate max. So this actually connects to my phone through Bluetooth, and I can see real time while I'm working out my heart rate. So the only thing left now is to bring some water and some gloves for my hands because they're really torn from yesterday's workout. You can see it. So I'll meet you guys next. So the whole point of the workout again is not to keep it high intensity, but actually low intensity. I also don't like to warm up for that because this is basically a warm up. So it's literally just 40 minutes. It's a pretty short workout. I use it on easy session days, which they used to be rest days, but I realized there is not much point because these workouts don't create really much fatigue. So I rather do them. And once a week, I also have a full rest day so I can actually rest and not do anything, let my body recover. So I've got on my phone this application. You can see my heart rate. I don't know if you see it, but right now it's 85. When I press start the timer, 82 maximum heart rate. That's probably going to be higher to around 150. Average heart rate, calories, which I don't really care too much, and the heart rate live. So let's begin. I do goblet squats, again mainly because the endurance competition, they usually take a kettlebell, you hold it like this, and I don't really have a kettlebell here, so I do it with just goblet squat, which is pretty similar. I'm gonna go for push-ups just right behind. So I do 9 push-ups, 5 squats with 20 kg, and 5 pull-ups, or 4. It actually depends if I feel more tired or more fresh. I might do just alternative 1 minute 4, 1 minute 5. So it's really about keeping the rhythm and just going continuous without any stopping in between. But you just breathe normally and make sure that your breathing doesn't go up too much. So let me do the push-ups and then we see how much my heart rate is. So right now it's 127 with the maximum heart rate of 133. Now again, you don't have to use this chest rep. It's probably going to go higher, but what you want to do is to make sure that you can keep talking while you're doing it. So you don't have to really talk without stopping. As you can see, I'm breathing normally, but I can still maintain a conversation. So that's a really good rule of thumb. So I'm really just going from one exercise to another, having a little rest in between, but just to make sure that my breath is normal and I can maintain the pace. It doesn't have to be explosive pace or too slow, but just a certain pace you can hold for 40 minutes without getting tired. Also make sure to drink some water meanwhile, because you're gonna sweat a lot. It's been only 3 minutes and I'm already sweating. A good rule of thumb to know that your heart rate is not too high if you don't have a chest rep is to breathe through your nose. If you can maintain the whole workout breathing through your nose, it's a good sign. So for now, heart rate is 137, and I'm probably gonna maintain around that level, maybe a little bit more when I finish an exercise. But again, the average heart rate here should be about 70 to 75% your max heart rate. Make sure that you also don't feel any burn in the muscles, so you really keep it light. And the main challenge is actually keeping technique the same throughout the whole sets and maintaining that pace. This should be our goal, not quantity, but quality. So if your technique is decreasing from set to set, you didn't achieve the goal of the workout. So this is already almost 10 minutes. My current heart rate is 140, maximum heart rate 145. And look at this pull-up technique, because this is also a good indicator. It's pretty perfect, right? So you see, everything is maintained pretty much normally. Perfect technique, intention, not getting close to failure. I don't feel any burn. I feel a little bit challenged in my aerobic system. That's why I take a few breaths in between the exercises. But again, average heart rate is 130 right now, which is pretty low, right? Zone 2. So I'm just over 20 minutes now, already dripping off sweat. Even my shins are sweating, which is pretty crazy. It's also pretty hot here, so make sure I drink some water and stay in the shadow. And actually, I don't really have much shadow here. But heart rate is going low, so I go for another set. You can clearly see how technique hasn't even regressed, and it's already half of the workout. And that's the whole point. So I do an alternation of 4 pull-ups, 5 pull-ups, and I keep push-ups for 9 reps and squats for 5 reps each round. Now, something interesting actually happens is that as you go throughout the sets, your heart rate is going a little bit higher, even though you maintain the same pace and technique. And you still want to keep it low, so feel free to take a little bit more breaths between exercises or between rounds. Just make your heart rate keep at the zone 2. This thing is actually called cardiac drift, which happens because of the core body temperature that goes up and the lack of blood volume that you have because you sweat a lot in aerobic exercises. So make sure to drink a lot of water, stay in the shadow if you have shadow, and take a little bit more rest if you need to. So it's about 25 minutes. I moved my phone to the shadow because it's getting warmed up. And the average heart rate currently is 134. The maximum heart rate is 152, which is a little bit higher than I expected. But sometimes it happens, so you take a little bit more rest. So we're 30 minutes in, 32 minutes actually. And the average heart rate is 135. And you can see how technique stays the same, pace is pretty much the same. I take a little bit more rest than I used to take at the beginning because of cardiac drift. So I make sure to drink some water and just go to the shadow. It's over there when I'm not doing the exercise. And I sweat like hell. So I got 3 minutes left actually for 40 minutes. It's 37 right now. And I'm thinking of prolonging that to 45, basically to progressive overload. I started with 20 minutes actually a while ago, and every time I increased by 5 minutes. So I get to a point where I don't really get fatigued the next day because I do get a lot of volume, but it's an amount of volume that gradually increases. So my body gets used to that. And even though I'm about to end this workout in a few minutes, I don't feel any burn in my muscles. I don't feel actually tired. The only thing that is tiring with the time here is the cardiovascular system. So it's 44 minutes. I'm gonna make it the last round, starting with push-ups. You can see the pace is still maintained, even though it's the last round. Now my heart rate is a little bit higher than the previous ones. Right now it's 148. I'm looking at my phone. 149. Just waiting a few seconds for it to come down, and then go for pull-ups and squats and call it a day. So usually it has that big drop. It just fell to 134. So I'm just going straight into squats. 5 squats with 20 kg. And that's it. This is how it looks like. So 135 average BPM, right? Max 152. And these are the zones right here. Here there was a little bit of a mistake it just didn't record. So you can see there's a little bit of a drift throughout the end, which is fine. It's totally fine. Just take a little bit more time to rest. So I really hope you guys enjoy the video. You should try this workout if your technique is a little bit off, or if you feel like you need more volume into your sessions. It's not really fatiguing, and it builds a great technique over time, great exercise habit. So if you like that kind of style, make sure to subscribe for more content, like the video if you liked it, and drop a comment if you have anything to ask, or just say hi or thank you. I see all the comments, so I won't miss yours. See you in the next one. Ciao.